Hi, my name is Mary Cruz, and I'm from the island of Guam. I can relate to poverty on different levels as far as raising my three adult children, and I have two children now as a single parent. My oldest son is 32, and I've been a single parent for 30 years. Then my daughter's 30, my son Jacob is 26. My two minor children that live with me are 12 and 10. My youngest son, Pedro, is 10 years old and he has autism. So if I pause the video all of a sudden, then that means that he needed me. And I'm going to be right back. But poverty would be when I was raising my three adults, I was on every public assistance program that there was, from Medicaid, food stamps, welfare. Then after 13 years, I earned my college degree, my bachelor's degree, and started teaching. Now, I have my three adults living on their own, but I would fall under Dr. Paul Thomas's reference to the working class, the working poor, because I not only live paycheck to paycheck, but my funds have depleted before the next paycheck comes in. And it's everything. It's medical and dental insurance is very expensive. I'm getting garnishment of my wages for paying back my master's degree, which I won't regret earning, but it takes a big chunk out of my check. And then there's rent and food and all your daily needs, and providing packed meals for my children. It's been researched, and I can totally understand that they say that raising a child with autism costs fifty to $60,000 more than raising a typical child. So I have that to look forward to. Poverty evidence in the schools today here on Guam is very clear, very powerful. We have students from elementary to high school that are living in their cars, living in the jungle with maybe just a tent or a tarp for shelter. And it's very true what Dr. Thomas mentioned, that these kids don't ask to live in these conditions. They don't ask to come to school dirty. They don't want to come to school dirty. It's the environment that they're raised in. And unfortunately, even though there are programs like Pura Housing, the Section 8 program, and public assistance like food stamp and welfare, if the parents have a record, or if they're arrested for drug abuse, or if they're arrested for family violence, then they are kicked out of the programs, the public assistance programs, and that would last for, I believe, 3 to 5 years before they can reapply. So a lot of the families that are homeless would be because they no longer have access to those programs. But I try to speak to a lot of the teachers that try to pin them out, label, single out these kids, and I've used those exact words as Dr. Thomas has, where he says that the kids don't ask to come to school like that no child would want to come to school like that. Please try to feel for them. Please try to understand how they feel. I try to help teachers to be empathetic. Since I've been teaching for over 20 years, I try to empower the teachers to look at empower the children, actually, so that the teacher is able to accept them and treat them more equally to the rest of their students. So I would say that I did experience being part of the lower class, growing up, not poverty-stricken, where I went to school dirty or hungry. But I definitely see it in today's schools, very much so. My children we've lived in a house that we were renting, and for the first 3 months there was no furniture, because when I had left the previous rental unit we had, I didn't have anyone to help me move our belongings, and so that landlord kept everything. And so the next place we lived in had nothing. And so that's definitely, I'm sure that's that would fall into the poverty level if you were to ask any of my adult children. And I just hope that, that our government will look into other things that can help these families. And I think it's just become such a big problem here. Even though Guam is a very family structured island, a lot of the homeless are local Romanian people. And I don't see how the problem can be remedied. Definitely not. I don't see something long term in the plannings as far as our legislation here. So, I'm just going to remain hopeful that there's things that will come up to help them. In the meantime, when I have their children in my classroom or in my school, I make sure to reach out to them and try to let them feel the equity that every child deserves. Thank you. I really enjoy this class. After teaching for so long, it was amazing to get some aha moments about lessons and things. So it just goes to show that we never stop learning. Thank you very much.